What are the most intensely debated topics? Chevy versus Ford? Supercharged versus turbocharged? Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg? Well, right now, it's electric versus gas. Today we are going to discuss this topic thoroughly and compare them in 11 main categories to see who is the definitive winner. And at the end of the video I will share my opinion on the matter and which one I would choose. Throughout the video I will refer to electric cars as EVs. So buckle up and let's go. Performance. Throughout the history of the automobile, horsepower figures have been on the rise. Although there were some downfalls during recessions and restrictions from emission regulations, today the average gas-powered car has around 200 horsepower. In comparison, the average power output for electric cars is 400 horsepower. And it's not just about having more power, but also the way EVs deliver it, where they have all the torque available from low RPM, while gas cars usually deliver peak power at higher RPM. These graphs clearly display the difference between the power curve of an electric motor compared to a gas engine. This instant torque from a very low RPM means that an EV doesn't need a transmission like a gas-powered car, and with higher power figures in general, EVs can accelerate a lot faster than gas cars. It's easy to see why EVs win in this category. Price. EV prices have come down significantly in the last few years, with a few examples like the Chevy Bolt and Nissan Leaf starting at around $30,000. However, this is the low end and the average selling price for EVs is around $61,500. And even with a tax credit reduction of up to $7,500, EVs are still significantly more expensive than gas cars, where the average selling price is around $48,700. There's no way around it. Electric cars are more expensive to buy, and although you might recoup the price over the long run, the gas engine wins this round. Reliability. This is the most controversial category, since people drive their gas cars well beyond 200, 300 and sometimes 500,000 miles without any problems. But this is the exception, not the rule. In reality, most gas cars will probably have an engine or transmission failure way before they reach 200,000 miles. And this is simply due to the complexity of the design. Most gas cars have over 2,000 moving parts, and there's a high probability one of these parts will fail. In comparison, an EV can have as little as 20 moving parts, and this decreases the chance of failure significantly. Now don't get me wrong, the most important component in an EV is the battery, and if it fails it will cost a fortune to replace, but new batteries are extremely reliable, and Tesla CEO Elon Musk claims their batteries will last between 300 and 500,000 miles. Although we need many more years to truly determine the reliability of 10-plus-year-old EVs, for now the numbers say EVs win this category. Maintenance. No matter which car you drive, if you don't treat it well and perform routine maintenance, it will fail. And that's why all car manufacturers have extensive routine maintenance plans. When it comes to gas cars, there is a list of items that need to be replaced every 5 or 10,000 miles. This includes but is not limited to engine oil, oil filter, spark plugs, air filters, fuel filter, timing belt, brake pads, brake rotors, coolant, and transmission oil. That's a long list, and there are even more consumable items that you might need to replace on a regular basis. And aside from coolant, brake pads and rotors, an EV doesn't need any of these spare parts. And even when it comes to brakes, most EVs have regenerative braking systems and allow their drivers to utilize one-pedal driving, which means they barely use the brakes at all. This is why EV brakes can easily last over 100,000 miles, with some drivers claiming that their brakes lasted 200,000 miles. In comparison, brake pads on a gas car last anywhere between 10,000 to 20,000 miles. And considering that the cost of replacing brake pads alone is between $200 and $600, it's clear that EVs win this round since they are both easier and cheaper to maintain. Repairs. Although EVs easily win when it comes to cost of maintenance, repairs are a different story. In the US there are over 6 million car accidents annually, and thankfully not all of them are major. But even a small fender bender or the occasional parking lot ding might cost you a fortune. One Rivian owner was quoted $41,000 just to repair one small ding in the rear quarter panel. And Hertz just sold off 20,000 EVs from their fleet because of their extremely high damage repair costs. This is because EVs are made of large panels which are very complicated to repair or replace. In addition, some body shops straight up refuse to work on EVs. And this is just for bodywork. When it comes to actual repairs, EV owners will struggle to find authorized or experienced shops to fix their cars. So gas cars are simply easier and cheaper to repair, and that's why they win this category. Filling up. Charging technology has come a long way since EVs were first introduced, And while some EVs can charge at 350 kilowatts per hour and can add up to 80% charge in less than 30 minutes, this purely depends on the availability of a high-speed charger. In the US, for example, there are more than 130,000 EV charging points as of June 2023, but of those only 28,353 are Level 3 DC chargers. And with over 2.4 million EVs in the US, finding a vacant fast charger near you is going to be difficult. Now, most EV owners tend to avoid using public chargers by simply charging their cars overnight, but this completely depends on having a private parking space where you can actually install an EV charger, which is an extra cost, by the way. So charging your EV is still a somewhat complicated task. In comparison, you only need 2 to 5 minutes to fill up your gas car at the nearest gas station. This round easily goes for the gas cars. And if you're enjoying the video, please consider subscribing. Long trips. This category relates directly to the previous one, since range anxiety is a real thing that EV owners face. One of the most fun activities you can do is go on a long road trip and explore the countryside in your car, and the last thing you want to think about is finding a vacant charger to fill up your EV while you wait for up to 4 hours. You probably get where I'm going with this. While some EVs claim a range of over 400 miles, most EVs have a range of around 300 miles on a full charge, and even that is overly optimistic. Real-world tests show that EVs can have up to 20% less range than the claimed number, or around 240 miles on a full charge. And we have to mention that if you have an electric pickup and plan on towing long distances, good luck. You'll be lucky to get 100 miles before needing to recharge. By comparison, gas cars have a median range of 403 miles on a full tank. And with the ability to top up in 5 minutes, gas cars can fly by the charging EVs and win this round. Cost per mile. This is where EVs truly shine, especially with recent gas price spikes. EVs are a lot more efficient than gas cars, with 77% of the energy received from the grid going directly to the wheels, while gas cars usually convert 12 to 30% of the combustion energy to drive the car forward. This simply means that EVs are cheaper to run on a cost per mile basis. And while gas prices wildly vary from country to country and even from state to state, the average cost per mile for EVs is around 3.3 cents, while the average cost per mile for gas cars is 15.9 cents. Assuming you drive an average of 20,000 miles per year, an EV will cost $660 to run, while a gas car will cost $3,180. And if you have a solar setup at home, you can virtually run your car almost completely free. In addition to the fact that EVs are cheaper to maintain, this round clearly is a win for EVs. Technology. Electric cars are basically computers on wheels, and EV manufacturers like Tesla operate more like a tech company than a car manufacturer. So it's no surprise that EVs tend to have a lot more features and innovations, since EV manufacturers tend to experiment more with them. The CYBERTRUCK alone has more than 10 groundbreaking features like a stainless steel body, 48-volt system, steer-by-wire, and more. To know more about the CYBERTRUCK's amazing features, click on the pop-up banner or follow the link in the description. Although gas cars are catching up to EVs by integrating more and more technology to their interior and safety features, EVs are still miles ahead and win this category. Ease of use. Although EVs are cheaper to run and require less maintenance, there's no way around the fact that they are a hassle to live with, especially if you don't have a charger at home. Not only do you have to worry about finding a vacant charger that's compatible with your car, but you also have to make sure that it's on your route and won't require a massive detour. And if you face any mechanical problems or need any bodywork, you will struggle to find an authorized workshop willing to work on your car. And the advanced nature of EVs means that some people will find it overwhelming and would just prefer to stick to the good old gas cars. The final verdict. As you can see, both cars are tied with 5 points each, so this is the tiebreaker. Although EVs have come a long way in the past decade, especially when it comes to range, charging, and technology, they are still far more expensive to buy compared to gas cars. And of course, EV prices are coming down slowly, and between tax incentives and lower running costs, an EV will be cheaper in the long run. But there is no way around it, they are simply more complicated to live with. Considering they are more suited to short trips inside cities, it's hard to justify buying one if you don't have a place to charge it. Don't get me wrong, EVs are great, and they have come a long way, and hopefully with more advancements in battery technology, and if we keep on building more public charging stations, they will be more enticing to buy. But for now, gas cars are simply the cheaper, easier, and better option. And I mean, nothing can put a smile on your face like the sound of a revving V8. which one I would buy. Now after the verdict, shouldn't it be easy to make a choice? I mean, gas cars already won, right? But electric cars have a lot to offer. They are faster, cheaper to run, and fun to drive, and have a lot of potential for the future. But we are living in the present, and as the great quote says, there are two sides to every story, and the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. Yes, in my opinion, the best car to buy is a hybrid. And I'm not talking about going out and buying a Prius, hell no. There are some amazing hybrids out there, and they offer the benefits of an electric car, like being cheaper to run and having more power, while also having the traditional gas-powered engine. Don't believe me? Just consider this: the new Lamborghini Revuelto is a hybrid and is the fastest and most powerful Lamborghini ever. So is the Ferrari SF90 with over 986 horsepower, and even the Corvette got in on the hybrid action with the E-Ray. Okay, these are extreme examples of hybrids, but there are a lot of normal cars and SUVs that are amazing hybrids, like the Toyota Camry hybrid and the Toyota RAV4 hybrid. And the best part is that hybrids are eligible for the same tax credits as EVs. But that's just my opinion. What would you buy? Let us know in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. See you soon.